Hey, welcome to the Black Lodge. This is Timmy1, and this is a special YouTube video we have of the war from Rising Honor versus OneHive. We've got a lot of great attacks here. It was actually a really interesting war from both sides, lots of really interesting stuff. So we shot a lot of video for it, and hopefully you enjoy it. To give you a bit of background, OneHive came to the Black Lodge looking to do a war, and just because of the Town Hall makeup with Town Hall 10s, we'd have to sit like our top 16 or 17 Town Hall 10s in the Black Lodge to do it, to match OneHive. So what we did instead was we kind of mixed the clans up between the Black Lodge and Rising Honor, and formed kind of a split squad. It ended up being a little bit more Black Lodge even than Rising Honor to take on OneHive, and had a lot of fun with it. So it ended up being a 30-30 war. We had 4 Town Hall 10s, a 9.5, and then 25 Town Hall 9s. The bottom ones were kind of 8.5s at the end. Turned out really great. It's really showcase of a lot of great Town Hall 9 attacks. Just looking at the OneHive roster here, a lot of great attacks from OneHive too, and the bases just were sick on both sides. So there's a lot of really interesting stuff to look at, and I hope you enjoy it. So just finishing off here, looking at some of the OneHive scores, a lot of 3 stars from both sides, and these weren't easy bases for anyone. So I think the first attack we're going to look at here is an attack from Keo that he did on Lala. And maybe some of the background that's interesting for both of you to know is Keo used to be one of the leaders in OneHive, came to TBL a while ago, and he was a big base designer for OneHive, and now I think Lala designs a lot of the bases for OneHive now. So each of them, I think, wanted to attack each other's base for obvious reasons, and so that's what we're going to start off with. We're going to start with Keo's attack on Lala, and then see what Lala tried to do to Keo. So again, very interesting attack here. It's an 8 witch, 14 hog attack, which is something that you really don't see very often. So he's going to get the witches to come in kind of as a kill squad instead of using like golems or wizards or whatever. The reason he's doing that is because the mortars are up in a really weird position on this base. They're up at like 9 and 3 o'clock way outside the base, so there's not a lot of mortar coverage inside. So the witches really, once you get enough of them going and their skeletons, have a lot of free reign. So you can see we zoom in a little bit here. It's actually a really dangerous CC for it too, with the loons. Those loons drop in a really bad place on some of those witches, and this attack is just over with. Again, weird AD positions as well, which allows him to come in with these loons here to clear out some of the sides. And then he's doing a double jump, so he jumps in, and then, despite all these lava walls, is able to keep the queen and all these witches going right to the heart of the base by using another jump spell. Drops his king up top, kind of using his king to tank a little bit here, and now come the hogs. And he's killed all the giant bombs now with all those skeletons and all those witches. And the hogs are just going to wrap around the base here. Still got a lot of witches going. Some wizards on the outside. There you go. And now it's just the cleanup troops here. So again, really innovative attack there by Keo, and really necessitated too, because it's a really cool base. It's a really cool design, and he needed something kind of innovative to do it. So I mean, where he dropped the witches was interesting because it was nowhere near where the giant bomb spots were going to be either. So really need a lot of work with that kill squad to go take him out. So switching over here now, really again kind of intriguing here. Lala comes back, and I can't remember whose attack was first here, and she's going with something somewhat similar: 3 golem, 5 witch, and then 12 loon. And again, similar because of the witches, and again the idea of taking advantage of the fact that Keo likes to design some of these bases with very weird AD layouts, which make them hard to Golava. coming in from 3 o'clock here. And again, the situation is similar with the mortars, in that Keo has 2 mortars up by like 10, 11 o'clock. He's got 1 mortar down by 6 o'clock. So the witches can again have free reign, and that's something that you're seeing more and more, sometimes at the Town Hall 10 level, where that witch attack on those Annie 3 Dragonflower bases is working, because people are using the mortars just as useless defenses, essentially, putting them on the outside. And when you do that, it's kind of letting witches have freer reign in the game. Let's come here with the loons on the outside and really able to loon pretty much all these outer defenses. I think that last air defense, or those last 2 air defenses going down, just go down a little bit too late here. Maybe came in a little too early with the loons. If those air defenses in the middle go down maybe 10, 20 seconds earlier, a lot more of those loons survive, and it probably would have been a 3-star here, I'm thinking. Because in the end, not many defenses left. Just that cannon, that mortar, and that one little lonely archer tower. So those last 2 center ADs just caused problems here on this attack. So cleaning up the end. So 75%. Honestly, I think it was a lot closer to being a 3-star. Probably if you do the attack a little bit over, maybe wait a little on the loons, it would have worked out well. So I'm gonna go back now, go through more of the Rising Honor TBL attacks, and then at the very end, we're gonna come back and we're gonna show a whole bunch from OneHive at the end. So the next attack here is from General Maximus. General Max is also a former OneHiver. I was almost going to call him a 1.0, but he's not. He's a 2.0er. And he's been in the Black Lodge for maybe 2 or 3 months. Maybe 3 months now. It's been a long time, since the first Red Line War. Somewhere around then. And he's coming in with a 3 Golem Hog attack here. That was very common in this war, actually. There were a bunch of 3 Golem attacks. So you're talking really heavy kill squads. And they're being done with really big heroes too. So these bases again are pretty tough because of the design, but also they're pretty much fully max bases in terms of almost all lava walls, and obviously max defense at Town Hall 9 as well. And the reason you're seeing these attacks like that is because these AQs are positioned so well that they're in positions where you don't want to go in. So they're trying to force you to go in a certain place because of the AQ. So what's happening with these 3 Golem attacks is people are going in better locations, and the kill squads just have more momentum enough to finally engage the AQ at the end. So instead of having to go in at say 12 o'clock right at the top to get the AQ on the kill squad with say a 2 Golem attack, or just a 1 Golem attack, for example, he was able to come in at 3, clear out more defenses that he wanted to clear out, and also still be able to have his queen going at the end. And just a whole bunch of cleanup there. So next attack, we're going to go down and going to see Matty. Matty's Matty Ice. I should call him Matty Ice because he cleans up a lot of 6 stars lately for us. He's just doing standard 2 Golem, shattered hogo here. But again, he's not just blindly going in here. He's looking at what kind of peripheral buildings he can take out. Drops a couple minions here, to start working, clearing some bases. Because it's never too early to think about cleanup, and also trying to make sure that stuff doesn't wander. So by doing that and taking out the stuff here, he's helping his left flank of his kill squad in a position where he couldn't put a wizard or anything like that. The minions have free reign because there's only like a mortar, whiz tower, and cannon down there. And again, also the AQ. And again, one of the things you're seeing here is how interesting it is that the kill squad goes in absolutely nowhere near that AQ. And because the AQ is so far out, I drop a jump spell here, drop the BK, and the queen is no more. So those little minions that took it out really cleared the path there for the BK. BK goes in all alone, separate from the kill squad, takes out the AQ, and now it's just hogs. And I don't know, I haven't seen this a lot before. That's something that I know T-Chill did on Shadow in this war as well, where Shadow had his AQ, again, really on the peripheral, but in a place where you don't want to send your kill squad. And T-Chill sent his kill squad at the exact opposite side of the base, and then dropped his BK and took out the AQ. So I don't know if people are going to start doing this more often. I think it's only necessary with some really tough bases, and these are tough bases. If you hear something in the background, that's my dog Tito. He's begging to go out. Yeah, you want to go out, buddy? You want to go out? Alright, let me put fire on. Everyone wants to see fire dragon. So fire's going to come in. Oh no, sorry. I'm going to go with Resi here first. So Resi's going to do another 3 golem. And for those of you who don't know Resi, which is maybe most of you, I'm not sure, Resi was a former 2.0er and also from OneHive. And what's interesting about this is Resi Jr. So this is a little Town Hall 9. And you may know his Town Hall 9 better as Frank the Tank, who was from OneHive Genesis and OneHive as well. He's done a lot of streaming as well. He streamed a lot of the Red Line War. He streamed a lot of wars for TBL and was in it. And he's quit the game. And now Resi has taken over Frank's account. And of course, now it doesn't have baby heroes anymore. Now it can actually, get 3 stars. Sorry, Frank. Frank's moved on to better things, I assume. He likes to troll and group me a lot. Post pictures that we're not going to talk about. Stuff like that. So again, I'll let you watch this attack. I'm going to run out and put my dogs out before they eat my computer. And I'll be back in a minute. Yes, who's the good doggy? Who's the good doggy? Outside. Outside. Come on, buddy. I'm so not gonna have time to edit that out. So Resi doing work here. Resi is one of those beautiful, amazing 9.5s. He's all zaps, all 40-40, and I don't think it's any intention of building Infernos anytime soon. It's kind of a last of a dying breed. After the last update, you kind of saw the end of 9.5s to a certain extent. They're not nearly as popular as they once were, but he's rocking it cool old school still, and now he's got this little TH9 that he likes to play around with as well. So next attack is Fire. Fire Dragon. This is actually his last war with us in Rising Honor and TBL Black Lodge. Fire's kind of retiring. He's got 29 heroes, and kind of comes to a point where people, as they reach the end of Town Hall 9, some of them don't play the game as often as much, don't want to really work hard. Not that they don't want to work hard at it, but they don't have as much time for it. So he told me right before this war, right after, I can't remember, that this was going to be his last war. And yeah, I'm really going to miss him. Maybe he comes back. A lot of times people come back. He's been a veteran of, a lot of big wars for us. All the big wars, really. I think Fire's been in. Going back to the first Red Line War with Clash Heads. And this is something actually he's been doing a lot of. We don't have a lot of guys to do this giant healer hog thing. it's a 14 giant, so he's going to pull in 8 level 6 giants, and then he puts his whole CC full of giants as well. And unfortunately, most of his giants die right there. So the raid actually doesn't go all that well. The giants kind of get nerfed coming in there by the CC, which sometimes happens with this raid. But luckily the healers stay up. And because of that, they're still going to be healing. Really, they're healing the barbs here from the BK rage. And instead of the giants keeping going, it's the little barbarians. He's coming with hogs here. He has 1 heal left, which should be good. And a lot of springs there. And again, he's got a bit short on the cleanup squad here, but luckily he's got his AQ keep going. If he doesn't have his AQ going here, this probably would have been some troubles. So, but luckily his AQ got healed up by those healers, and he's hitting the ability on the AQ. So it's not like his AQ was ever in danger of dying here. But really a good raid there for the giant healers. Although, even with the giants didn't really do a lot of work there. They didn't do what you think they would have done necessarily. Probably, 2 golems would have done the same thing there. So next attack is ramdan, and this is going to be a straight Golava attack here. He is very good, and he's very good with some pretty small heroes compared to some of the other guys we have. He was in Rising Honor for, I don't know, quite a few wars. We've had him in TBL for a couple wars too. He and Dicky both joined, I don't know, maybe a month ago or so, and both are from Eagle Warrior. And for those of you who don't know Eagle Warrior, it's one of those top leaderboard clans, has been from the very beginning. I think they're a little bit over 200 wins right now, basically somewhere north of Reddit Troopers and maybe north of Clash Heads. I'm not sure. They're at least around Clash Heads. They're I believe a Filipino clan, and they sort of keep to themselves. Roy is the leader of the clan. He actually stopped by Black Lodge maybe last October or November and did a war with us when I think he was thinking of maybe giving up the game. And that was around War 80 or so, maybe around War 90. And he's obviously kept going. He ended up going back to be leader of Eagle Warrior again. And they're going really strong. So these two guys have come there from there, and I'm not actually sure if they're planning to stay or not. I think technically they're on like an exchange program, like a visit basically. So ramdan and Dicky are here with us, and we're really happy to have them. That's something that some of the clans have talked to us about doing lately, about having people come to visit. And sometimes it's like 2 or 3 wars, and that's something where it's like, okay, that's fine. But this is actually really cool. These guys have, I think their intention is to stay like 3 or 4 months or something like that. And who knows, maybe they don't leave. Maybe we end up poaching them, which would be great if they enjoy it here. But I think there's some sort of, there's a bit of a language barrier too. So I don't know, but they're great to have. And obviously, as you can see, pretty efficient with their attacks. Alright, so now we're going to go back to Trey. And Trey's one of our lower Town Hall 9s. I think his heroes are pretty good right now. But he's great for matching for some of these wars because he doesn't have full, he's not a max 9. And it's great when you have people who aren't max 9s because it makes it easier to match other clans. So he's going to come in here with a 2 golem hog. And for people who don't have the super high heroes, hogging tends to be better. It's just that with Golava, some of the other attacks, even the giant healer that we saw with Fire Dragon there, you're really helped by those really massive heroes that can just keep working and working and working throughout the entire attack. And if you don't have those, sometimes these, shattered or cold-blooded hog attacks are a lot better. So this attack didn't actually start out very well for Trey here. He was trying to loom some stuff up at the top. Didn't go so well. I'm assuming he's going to come back to the top because the AQ is still up there. Although maybe he'll be able to kill the AQ with a big kill squad here. But again, he's got, you know, mid-level heroes. I don't think he's going to get all the way there. Oh, he is. Wow, so again, another example of a really spread out base here. And entering on the kill squad like miles away from where the AQ is. Nowhere in the vicinity. And then working it to the point where you can get a jump spell in at the end, kill the AQ. And what you have to hope for with these kind of attacks is that you got enough cleanup squad. Because you've spent so long on your kill squad developing that, you know, if you're left with only a few hogs, it's gonna be a battle with the clock to try to finish this off. So lucky he's got quite a few hogs going here. And again, still has the AQ going. And still has the witches. Also a really good plan here, and it didn't actually go perfectly either, because he still got the cannon up there at 10 o'clock. He's just killing it now with the hogs. Obviously he didn't plan for that thing to be still around. But it's going to work out just fine for him here. Because he's got a nice split too here with the witches down low and the queen, and then the hogs cleaning up on top. So a nice 3-star there, and an interesting attack. What's pretty interesting too is that all these interesting attacks are motivated because these are interesting bases. So this is something that if we hadn't have done this setup war here with OneHive, we wouldn't have seen. It's not like guys plan these really intricate, elaborate attacks for just, you know, your average war every day. Alright, who do we have next? Oh, Drew 3. Alright, so Drew 3 is a pretty nice 8.5 here. Got some nice offense. Drew's a pretty important person in Rising Honor. There's Drew 1, there's Drew 2. And Drew sort of runs Rising Honor with, you know, there's a bunch of us in the group. But he's a great guy. So gonna watch his attack here on Stally. He's gonna nerf this thing, I'm sure. Okay, so here is Toy Soldier, and he is another guy who took advantage of the name change just about a week or two ago. This used to be Leech, and I think a lot of people from OneHive might know him. I don't believe he was ever in OneHive, although maybe for this kind of where he would have been. He was in Genesis, I think, for a long time, and came to Rising Honor a couple weeks ago, actually. So really kind of cool for him to be in this war. Another former OneHiver. And I think a lot of these Toy Soldier's an 8.5, so is Ruby, obviously. A lot of these lower guys, I don't know if they're in OneHive all the time, full-time now, or if they're in Genesis, or they kind of move back and forth or whatever. So you do have some people from both clans kind of, coming together, which is nice, actually. I like in a clan family when you get to be able to mix your teams, kind of thing, because it really makes you feel more like a family. So it's a great thing we get to do here in the Black Lodge and Rising Honor, and well, there's actually Rising Honor 2 now, and there's actually RH 3.0, which Drew just set up a few days ago, and there is also a mini clan for TBL called Henois. I don't actually even know about that one, barely. I mean, I'm not involved. I'm not cool enough to have a mini that's in Henois, but that's something that a whole bunch of the guys from TBL and I think from Rising as well are doing with some of their minis. So we have a lot of fun. There's a lot of guys with multiple accounts, and because of that, we can do kind of fun wars because we're pretty much able to match anyone. Aren't too heavy on the TH7s, unfortunately. So that was Toy Soldier, formerly Leech, and then I think we're going to show this last attack here from Hellsing. Hellsing is another mini, really long-standing mini. Hellsing helped me start Rising Honor. Not start it, but helped me make it into something long ago when both of us were in Red Onslaught, and Rising Honor was originally, well, not originally, but back then at least, it was an account for one of my minis, Incognito. I think he'd just gone Town Hall 7, and he was leading this little clan. And Hellsing was one of the first guys from Red Onslaught who was like, well, I got a mini too. I'll come help you build the clan so you guys don't suck anymore. And Hellsing's still around. His big account is Tim. He's one of the other Tims around. And he just went Town Hall 9 on this account. Hellsing hasn't had a chance to be a Town Hall 9 much, ever. I believe he went straight last summer when War first came out. He went straight from Town Hall 8 to Town Hall 10 and was one of those little Town Hall 10 preemies for the longest time. He's now a fully maxed 40/40 and has been for a while now. And then this little account that he has been at Town Hall 8 for forever. I think he just got it up really to Town Hall 8.5, 9 territory a couple weeks ago, really because he wanted a Town Hall 9. So he's never got to play Town Hall 9. So for him to, get a chance to do that is kind of great. And it will tell you a little bit when I'm actually recording this. This is actually 1 or 2 days after the OneHive Wars ended. Now there's Tim dropping his last spell there, just to show us you didn't need all 4 spells to do this. Show off. But yeah, just to show you how things change sometimes. Tim, who's Hellsing, who we just watched there, actually is, he left Black Lodge, well, just really recently, obviously, last day or so, and he's in OneHive right now, so, good for him, and, I really hope he enjoys it there, so, he obviously was pretty impressed by what OneHive did in this war. Thought it'd be a good clan for his Town Hall 10. I'm just happy he's going to be staying in Rising Honor with Hellsing, though. Okay, so now we're kind of going to move to the phase where we show some of the OneHive attacks. There's some pretty good ones. I picked out some of the OneHive people that I know of and have heard of. For example, Jake. You may have heard of him. Biggie, you know, I got the chance to know him a little bit from Redline Wars. Stally, I've heard some good things about, just down the grapevine and stuff. And there's a couple others. So instead of doing the commentary on the last couple of minutes, since I don't really know the OneHive people all that well, I'm just going to let it run. And it will take you out with some music. So that's it from, at least for me and my commentary from the Rising Honor / TBL OneHive War. Maybe we'll get a chance to do it again. I like these kind of wars where it's lots of Town Hall 9 attacks. Sometimes it's more interesting than the Town Hall 10 attacks, because there aren't a lot of people in this game, a lot of people that play this game, who can war at the level where they're 3-star Town Hall 10s all the time. But hopefully all of us, at least one day, can at least hope or dream to be at the point where, you know, you can pull off some of these wicked Town Hall 9 raids. Town Hall 10's not for all of us. So, on that note, I'll check out. And it was great. I doubt many of you have made it this far. But I'll just get into rambling phases now. So, until next time, it's Timmy1, signing off.